I am Dr. Mia Gormley Benjamin, and I am joined here by Etienne Charles, and we are so happy to be here. I am Assistant Professor of Music at the University of Trinidad and Tobago, and I will let Etienne introduce himself because you have so many accolades to your name. So how about you introduce yourself, even though you don't need an introduction?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Etienne Charles, Associate Professor of Studio Music and Jazz at the University of Miami Frost School of Music, as well as a recording artist, band leader, and carnival band leader of the new live brass experience on the road, rhythm, brass, and mass. And it's so good to be back in the big yard on the biggest night of steel pan in the world.
Yes.
Alongside one of the greatest young panists that I've ever met. and we're both alumni of the great Florida State University.
Yes, we are. Go Noles.
And we just had an incredible performance by NLCB Fonclaire, and it's great to see them get back to this adventurous state that we always know Fonclaire to come with, especially from the rhythmic perspective. What did you think about that, Mia?
Yes, I mean, I thought the Tambo Bamboo was a nice touch. I mean, I'm really talking about long-lived soca, and you go to the history of how soca has developed. It was very clever to introduce sort of the Tambo Bamboo to kind of take it back to the start, you know, and then sort of progress through. So I thought it was a nice and creative addition.
It was also clever because it also identified the roots of South in pan.
Yes.
Because of Tambo Bamboo. And Tambo Bamboo is also at the root of steel pan. You wouldn't have steel pan without Tambo Bamboo. It's planted right in the middle of the evolution from the drum to bamboo to iron to steel pan. But specifically from what I liked about what Darren Sheppard was doing is that there are few steel pan arrangers that take the time to work these little hemiolic ideas into the arrangement, and he kind of worked them throughout. Yes. And for those who don't know, a hemiola is a rhythm that sounds like one thing, but it is another. And so it was clearly there throughout the arrangement. I wish I had time to sit down and chat with him about it. Yeah. But good to see Fonclaire back and roaring and ready to go.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, too, I mean, they placed 11th in the preliminary round and then 7th in the semifinals. So I know they're definitely aiming to go much higher this evening. And they came out, you know, with that, as I mentioned, that San Fernando. You know, it's something about Fonclaire that sort of reminds me and sort of reminisce about the different elements and how pan has sort of spread throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, we cannot forget the late Ken Professor Fillmore with Pan by Storm. So they've definitely had some classics over the years, and a band that's hailing from the 1960s. You know, that's when they started. So to see some of these bands that have been existing for so long and to see the energy that they bring on stage is next level.
Yeah, and you know, everybody says that Fonclaire was supposed to win with Pan by Storm. That's what town always says. I think it was 1989, and people could say whatever they want, and I think Fonclaire still has that energy and that oomph.
Yeah, you mean Pan by Storm, 1990, yeah.
They still have that.
Yes, absolutely. So we're just going to go to an interview to Nicholas.
So we on stage here with the young crack shots from Fonclaire, part of the team that made that wonderful performance, you know, right here on stage. So, and you can see, look at these sizes. So, give me your names real quick.
Aria McLeod.
What band?
Tenor.
Osaya Barkos, tenor.
Curry Marriott, double guitar. Deshaun Lawrence, double tenor.
And as you could tell, pan is in good hands because we do have the youths. And how old are you?
11.
11.
11.
11.
11.
11.
14, the wettest one.
14, the wettest 14-year-old in Fonclaire. Pan is in good hands. We have the youths on the big stage with the big bands. And I do have the arranger here with me as well, you know, looking over the young ones. So tell us about your performance tonight and you know, get to the band ready.
Well, I think it was a great performance. Young people stepping up to the plate is important for the transition of not for Fonclaire, but for Pan as a whole. And I think we have a good crop, and we have 12 schools that we're working with. So the human resource is endless. And as young people, they need something to do positive. And I'm a little bit hard on them sometimes, but you need to do that to keep them in check so that we could have gotten a performance like that tonight.
Hey, we did see the benefits of that tonight with the performance that we got. We see them enjoying themselves. The band was exuberant. We got a lot of vibe from the band. You know, all the jams, you see them really enjoying it. So great work that you're doing, as you say, a great crop that is coming up. So we're looking for great things from Fonclaire. You guys had a really great performance tonight.
Yeah. And 2025, when they mature a little bit, and the 11-year-olds reach 14 and 13 and thing, pressure.
What's her face? She like, I ready now. She looking like, what you saying? Like we ready now. So see the wettest man here. But great job, guys, and great work with the kids, and continue to do it. We're loving it. And we love to see this because it gives us hope to know that PAN has a great future.
Indeed it does.
Great job from Fonclaire. We're live at the Queens Park Savannah. Panorama 2023, large band, small team, large band. Great job. Back to you guys.
Wow, that was a really beautiful interview to see all those youths in the band, and we're welcoming the corporate secretary of Fonclaire. Please, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the band?
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Wendell Lihing, and I'm the corporate secretary of NLCB Fonclaire. We have just changed our whole structure to a non-profit organization, hence the reason why we have a new structure. And it's paying great dividends because now that we are compliant across the board, especially with all the different requirements in Trinidad and Tobago, it is even a better resounding note with our sponsors that we comply to the laws of the country. So that in itself was a plus for us instead of having a one-man, one-band show.
Nice. I'm actually interested to know too, you seem to have so many youths in the band, right? And when you think about Panorama rehearsals and sometimes you go late, how do you incorporate the youth sort of in the process of the rehearsals?
I mean, we have always been asked that question. Our challenge really is that most of our players are, as you say, children that attend school. So the bands that would practice until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we don't have that privilege. We would practice and finish at 11 p.m. because these children have to go to school the next day. But what we actually do, we have 5 different bands coming out of Fonclaire. So we are in 13 primary and secondary schools. We have, like just this season past year, we had St. Gabriel's girls who placed 3rd at the Junior Panorama. We had Pleasantville Secondary that placed in the top 10. We also had Fusion Steel, which is what we call our junior band. Because what Mr. Sheppard's vision was, because these kids not accustomed to the bright light, we try to introduce them to it gradually so that when they come on final night, they wouldn't be starstruck like a deer in the headlight. And then we have our junior program that is pretty large. We have about 90 children that traverse our panyard. So the future is bright for Fonclaire. We intend to push this whole revolution of having the children involved with the instrument, just not because we're looking for players, but we're looking to create an environment of education. We actually have a book drive that we do every single year where the less privileged ones in the school, in the band, we would provide books to them. We have a stationery drive where we give at least 150 children stationery for school. And we recently launched our gift card, which actually allows us the opportunity to have discounts at major establishments. When I mean major, I'm talking about Lachlan and the Gans. I'm talking about Value Optical, Doctors Inn, Tees Tire, just to name a few. So when you come to the band and you purchase this card, you actually get a discount because of your attachment to the band. Because what we intend to do, we intend to be a holistic band. Yes, Panorama is the big stage, but during the year we want to have programs to encourage youth to learn the instrument, because as you know now, you can get a scholarship to UTT or even University of the West Indies and use the steel pan as a catalyst into having a better education. So that's our drive.
Wow, excellent. That's an amazing.
That's an amazing presentation. And you were mentioning as well that you'll have a new group called Golden.
Yeah.
Steel.
So we have a group of about 40 seniors who, back in the 60s, 70s, parents will never allow them to play an instrument. You know the stigma that they had then.
Exactly.
So now that they're big and the parents either out of, and they could make their own choice, we formed a group. Darren formed this group called Golden Steel. And Golden Steel, basically, we practice just not to play the pan, but we actually practice the scales and the chords and all these things so that we actually performed at our concert, and we are proud of it. Because I myself did not play with the band for other reasons. But now that you could go on a stage and represent your area, because we are a community band. The band was formed at the corner of Front Rose and Clare Street, hence the name Fonclaire.
Yes.
And it's not just a woman fancy. We are properly structured. And the Golden Steel, I am positive there are a few of them in the note stand right now cheering us on. But it also creates a network.
Nice. Well, you know, it's very amazing to hear what's going on at Fonclaire. I actually had no idea of all of this, so this is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you for having us, and have a good evening.
Have a good evening, and good luck in the competition.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We'll be right back.
National Panorama